Breeze Nation, what is going on? This is your boy Jordan JC coming to you back again with another Windy City Breeze video. And gonna take a pivot on this one. Usually I come out at 12 with NFL, especially around this time, NFL draft player breakdowns. And we're gonna definitely get back into that for this week. But I wanted to take a minute and pause and just kind of be in the moment and just talk about the unfortunate news of NFL wide receiver Rondale Moore passing a few days ago on February 21st. The reports are that he was discovered with a suspected self inflicted gunshot wound in a garage. He was only 25 years old and he passed away in southern Indiana on Saturday. And so, uh, at this time, just quickly want to give condolences to the family. Obviously, they'll need a lot of support at this time, but it made me want to get on here and just have a brief conversation, not something that I want to get too deep into, but really give it if it give it life in a sense for just a few minutes. Um, and just to kind of go over just a few of the facts of Rondell Moore, this was a very special person, a very special player. A lot of people around him said that he just brought a joy to the locker room, a joy to the field, a joy to a lot of people that were around him. He was that type of person. But he was a person who was born in New Albany, Indiana. He was a three-sport athlete. You could tell that he was very talented at New Albany High School before transferring to Trinity High School in Louisville, Kentucky, where he was the Gatorade Player of the Year in 2017. And then, of course, as we all know, in college, I even remember watching him at Purdue on that Boilermaker team. He was a very special talent. He had 1,258 receiving yards on 114 receptions with 12 touchdowns and was named a first team All American before he was drafted in the second round to the Arizona Cardinals. And that's where he began his tenure in the NFL. And he stayed healthy fairly, he fairly healthy for the first 3 years. I know that during his stint in Arizona, he had some up and down moments. I believe his rookie season was the best statistical season for him. And like I said, this was a guy who, coming out of college, was extremely talented. I mean, the 40 time was there, the agility, the yards after catch, the catchability, the talent was there for him to be a special player. He's someone who, even as a Chicago Bears fan, I looked at from afar and wanted this guy. I believe when he finally was on the market and there were talks of him possibly being traded, I wanted the Bears to kind of get a look at him and possibly see if they could bring him in. That was before the all the receivers that we have now, and we had less of a talented core of receivers back then. But um, I believe that after his stint with the Arizona Cardinals, he then got traded to the Atlanta Falcons. And then, right as he got traded to the Atlanta Falcons, he sustained a season ending injury that was put on reserve and a knee injury as well. And so, right when you suit up for another team, it's unfortunate that you have to go through that. And of course, we know that for different athletes, just the time and the effort and the grueling task that you have to go through to recover from certain injuries, especially season ending, those aren't easy to come back from. I'm sure that all of us can agree, just from a normal standpoint, when we're sustaining some sort of even minor injury, and you talk about the recovery time, how many times you have to go to your physical therapist and work out a knee or work out an arm or whatever the case may be, to a certain to a lesser extent, how mentally tasking it can be to go back and have to continue to get through those painful moments where it's like mentally it really challenges you to keep going. And so for me, I feel like this is something that possibly Rondell Moore had to continue to go through, because not only when he came back from his injury with Atlanta, as soon as in March 2025 of this past year, he signed a 1 year $2 million contract with the Vikings, where he again suffered a season ending injury in a preseason game against the Texans on August 9th. And so just for a moment, just think about how frustrating and how even debilitating that can be for an athlete. You've heard of reports of athletes having a hard time just getting back to a normal way of playing, and knowing that maybe they have the talent This wasn't just a guy. Rondale Moore had a lot of talent and a lot of skill that potentially could have been put on display. And so to have to go through one injury after another, we've seen that even with our own hometown heroes like Derrick Rose, it can really bother you. And I'm not going to sit here and assume that that was the reason maybe that he possibly had a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but I just know that for athletes who feel like they were at the peak of their powers and that this is something that they have put their whole life into, poured their whole life into, and your family and your parents have invested all of this time and money from a young age into making you what you are, and you finally get to the highest level and you're ready to display your gifts, you're ready to display your skill. And to a lesser extent, obviously the money is a part of the game. You know, you want to get the high large contracts, and of course that's what comes with being a star. But just think about the pressure and just the constant having to feel like maybe you're not going to get back to who you were. That is the possible mental side of things that possibly Rondell had to go through. And so it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate when you feel like you have all or nothing. A lot of these players feel like football is their life. And so when they can't necessarily attain the expectations that they have for themselves or attain what everybody else feels they should be, it puts a lot of pressure on them to feel like they're nothing or they're nobody. And of course, we know that's not the case. You are bigger than the game. You are bigger than football. And a lot of athletes need to hear that. A lot of athletes need to know that. And even to a lesser extent, I should say a lesser extent, to a different extent, us as normal day-to-day workers, you matter more than your job. So if you sustain an injury or if you lose your job, you matter more than your job. You can always get back up and get back on your feet and go to the next job. You sustain an injury that takes you out of commission for a little while. It may be tough to get back to that point that you were where you feel you're at your best, or you're looked at as valuable. Don't ever feel like you're not valuable in life, though. Don't ever feel like you're not valuable to the people that matter the most, which is your family, your friends, those that truly love you no matter what your situation is. And I'm sure that is the family that he came from because of the type of person that Rondell was. And so I say all of this to say that it is very unfortunate news when you hear someone possibly taking their own life. Um, that has always been something that has always sat very differently with me when it comes to those type of reports, because to get to that sort of state, to feel like you can't be who you were in one particular part of your life, it doesn't mean that you can't be all you can be for in other areas of your life. And so I want to say, obviously, it's unfortunate news for Rondell, but to a larger picture, just to give everyone, whoever's listening to this, just encourage you to continue to keep pushing yourself, to view yourself as more valuable than just your job or something that maybe you've tailed off in because of one reason or another, whether it's injury, whether it's something that sets you back. Don't feel like you can never ever get back to that point, or that people don't love you to the point where you can continue to move forward in life and find value in the little things, and the joy and the love that people show you, and the joy and the love that you bring to the table no matter what. And so again, unfortunate news. Obviously the NFL as a whole is mourning. Obviously his teammates, those I believe his coach Jeff Brom from Purdue sent out a few words, made a statement as well about the type of person that Rondale Moore was, and obviously the need for his family and friends to be comforted at this time. And again, this is just an encouragement for anyone who is listening to know that don't ever think that you need to get to the point where you feel invaluable and that your life does not matter because you don't have the capability of doing one thing. Always know that there are many things that you can do in life. There's so many other avenues and things that will make you valuable. And ultimately, it goes back to your relationship with your family, your relationship with your friends, and not to get too deep into it, but also your relationship with God. That is most important. And so keep those things in mind, Breeze Nation. As well, that's something that I try to live by as well. But again, unfortunate news for a young, up and coming, talented receiver. And again, hopefully, condolences to his family. Hopefully, that they're being comforted as much as possible by everyone, whether it's in the league or just close friends and members of the family. And so, again, just wanted to hop on here and just kind of give my feelings on that. Obviously, I would like to know how you all feel about this unfortunate news. I'll be down there with you all in the comment section, and just let me know how you feel. Rondale Moore was a special person, as I said. Most importantly, before even knowing him as a special player on the field, despite even his short tenure in the league and having to deal with injury. And so, again, love and prayers go out to the family, and we move forward. But just wanted to make sure I gave a little bit of time to discuss that. And until the next video, I'll be again coming back some more with some NFL draft player breakdown coming up this week. And the crew will be obviously dropping some videos. Well, Kid will be dropping some videos coming up this week as well. So stay tuned for that. And again, hey, Chicago, everywhere, no matter where you're listening from, stay safe. Make sure you're loved. Make sure you continue to see that you are valuable. And until the next time, I'm out.